Hey good people, James here again, and I want to tell you a little story about what goes on between conifers, this pine, and the London plane, or deciduous trees. Typically during the growing season, as their canopies are intermixed or very close together, the deciduous tree is going to shade the conifer, and it's going to keep it from really filling in and thickening up in that particular area where they're conflicting. You can see that very clearly on this pine, there's a real void on this side. And as a solution, it appears as though the gardeners chose to remove a rather large limb off of the London plane as a solution. Well, unfortunately, because of the variety of pine in this region, we're not going to see a whole lot of new growth right along and in that void. And unfortunately, the London plane is responding rather poorly to such an aggressive cut, because that cut is nearly 2 feet across, where they removed a very large limb, and now all of that response wood, what often commonly get called suckers or water sprouts, those are responding to the lack of photosynthesis that is taking place because of the absence of that large limb. So two things need to be taken into consideration here is the planting of your trees in your garden as to how they're going to interact in the long term. Do you really want them as close as they are positioned, or do they need to be further apart? Or do you maybe only want to plant one tree? And secondly, when it comes to pruning, it really is important that you only prune a certain amount of living canopy out of a tree in a calendar year. That's a leaf producing canopy. And the other thing is that percentage, and it's different from tree to tree to tree, it's not just a blanket 1/3 or 30%. It depends on the variety of tree. But one thing is imperative is that percentage cannot come out of only one section of the tree. That percentage has to do with the overall leaf producing canopy. And that if you're going to have to concentrate your removal in one specific area, it needs to be done over subsequent seasons. So just good planning in the garden, good looking forward, good forecasting, if you will, as to what's going to go on with your trees, both in the long run and as a repair or fix. So maybe the best, not the best decision sometimes in the past. So continue to follow along if you want more tips in the garden.